Hello New Zealand, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. Well, the weather forecast this week is similar to last week. We've got another large low that's going to cross over the country. Got another couple of days which are fairly settled as that low clears away. And just like last week, we've got another big low as we head in towards the coming weekend. So let's explain what is happening. There is a lot of low pressure at the moment, as you can see here in the blue-purple colouring, and high pressure down to the south here in the yellow. So a lot of sinking low pressure, and between the high and the low, got a fair bit of easterlies continuing on. That's why Canterbury's got a bit of a gloomy week this week. There's a fair bit of rain on the way for the next couple of days, as well as that low transitions from Tasman Sea to Pacific Ocean. With those easterlies blowing through and that big high down to the south, it really is continuing this feed that's coming into central parts of New Zealand. That's where we see the biggest highest rainfall totals over the next couple of days. Anywhere between around about 40 and 100 millimetres is expected through this area in here. Now, as we go through into Wednesday, Thursday, that should slide up the eastern side of the North Island. Right now, Dry Hawke's Bay, not a lot expected, only 10 to 30 millimetres. It'll be welcome, but it's not enough to reverse the dry you've got. But hopefully, beyond this map, another day or so, you might get just what you need. So this is how we look on Tuesday. You can see that low to the north finally going from being out over the Tasman to moving out towards the Pacific. There is a fair bit of rain underneath that low, but because it's mainly out at sea, I don't think too much of New Zealand will be affected by that heavy stuff there, but you do see a lot of rain around the North Island. That's the afternoon downpours again flaring up, and it says the risk zone is pretty much everywhere inland, mostly around the Central Plateau, Waikato areas, and also inland around Northland. And then in the south, those easterlies continue. That's why you've still got those higher rainfall totals around Kaikoura and up towards Marlborough. But if you're living around the rest of Canterbury, it's more sort of drizzly and miserable easterlies continuing, because they get a bit depressing after a while. By Wednesday, now that's the day where I say Hawke's Bay, you've got a better chance of rain. That low deepens a little bit further actually as it transitions out over the open waters, and it drives in a wet sou'easter, so that could really lift up your rainfall totals beyond that map I just showed you. So fingers crossed, I know you need it. Canterbury, you're getting some more whether you like it or not. Still easterlies. The good news is it shouldn't be too intense. Dry in the north, dry in the west, dry in the south, and look what's building over in Australia. That's good news for them. That's in the drought zone. Good to be getting some rain over there. And as we get in towards Thursday, that low deepens over the Tasman. We've still got showers coming into Canterbury. And in the North Island, they do start to ease around Hawke's Bay and Gisborne later on. It might take a little bit longer to clear away from those areas, but gradually it is clearing up on Thursday, because on Friday, believe it or not, despite that right there, Friday's a mostly dry, settled day. There is not a lot of activity going on. Might be an afternoon downpour popping up in the mountains and ranges further south. In the north, mostly dry, but there will be some late patchy rain arriving in Northland. It might arrive into Auckland late afternoon before you drive home from work. And then this is Saturday. Now this looks a lot worse than I think it might be. It might not be as bad as what we've just had. You've got this big area of low pressure, a big blocking high. Most of the wet weather is on the northern and western sides of both islands, but this is falling apart, and by Sunday it might have completely gone. So it may not be a complete repeat of what we've just had, and beyond it, while we do have a couple of fronts in there, the long-range forecast for the next couple of weeks into December looks like we might get an uptick in high pressure, which many of you will be wanting to hear. That is all from me. We'll see you again on Tuesday with the latest on all the rainmakers that are still yet to come in.